parents died under mysterious circumstances, Maya took her little brother Liam and moved to a new city, desperate to escape the shadows of their past and start anew. Money was scarce, but Maya managed to rent a cheap, aging house nestled at the edge of a quiet, sleepy neighborhood. The house stood isolated, its peeling paint and creaking shutters whispering secrets of forgotten times. It wasn't much, but it was theirs. At first, life in the new city seemed deceptively ordinary, almost comforting in its mundane rhythms. The old house moaned and sighed under the weight of time, every creak and groan a familiar lullaby for the weary. Strange noises whispered through the night, faint footsteps padding down empty halls, the unsettling rustle of something unseen brushing against walls. Yet Maya convinced herself these were nothing more than the natural sounds of an aging home, or perhaps the restless stirrings of nocturnal creatures lurking beyond the cracked windows. She fought against the creeping unease gnawing at her heart, chalking it up to exhaustion and grief, telling herself it was just her imagination running wild after all they had endured. But the subtle disturbances soon grew impossible to ignore. Footsteps paced slowly outside Liam's bedroom door when no one was there. Furniture shifted imperceptibly, their locations altered when no one watched. Doors opened with a slow, deliberate creak that slammed shut in cold gusts that chilled their bones. Shadows twisted just beyond sight, lurking at the periphery like watchful eyes. The air inside the house thickened, turning cold and suffocating, heavy with an oppressive silence that pressed like a weight on their chests. One evening, as Maya knelt to pick up a fallen book, her fingers brushed against strange, jagged scratch marks etched deep into the wooden floorboards, marks eerily identical to those they had found in their old home, a haunting reminder that whatever followed them had not been left behind. Unease gnawed at Maya and Liam, driving them to seek answers. They spoke to neighbors, dug into public records, and searched for the house's history. But the past was a blank slate. No tales of hauntings, no tragedies recorded, just an unsettling void. Still, presence was undeniable, as if something unseen lurked just beyond their senses, watching, waiting. Memories of their parents' death, sudden, unexplained, and cruel, clawed back into Maya's mind. The eerie happenings mirrored whispers she had once heard, hints of a malevolent force that had plagued their old home. Determined to protect Liam, Maya sought the only help she knew, the priest who had once aided their family. The priest was calm, gentle, his voice steady as he blessed the house and assured Maya the darkness was gone. Relief washed over her like sunlight breaking through clouds. Hope flickered that maybe, just maybe, the nightmare was finally ending. But Liam felt otherwise. He whispered of a presence, cold, watching, patient. Maya tried to soothe him, attributing his fear to an overactive imagination. Yet Liam's dread was palpable, growing deeper by the day. One night when Maya slept heavily from exhaustion, Liam awoke to a sharp, persistent knocking at the front door. Heart pounding, he slipped from bed and followed the sound outside into the biting night air. Bathed in eerie moonlight stood two figures, translucent, drifting silently. Their faces were unmistakably familiar. Their parents. The ghosts beckoned, silent yet insistent. Without hesitation, Liam stepped into the shadows beyond the backyard, into the waiting arms of the forest. The woods closed around him like a living thing, branches whispering secrets, leaves crackling underfoot. Liam called softly, "Mom? Dad?" But only silence answered. The deeper he went, the colder the air grew, thick with something ancient and watching. At last they stopped before a crumbling tombstone, half hidden by gnarled roots and moss. The spectral faces turned toward him, their eyes glowing an unnatural white, empty, alien, and devoid of love. A guttural chant rose from their lips, harsh, twisted syllables that bent the night air. From the dark behind them emerged a monstrous figure, shifting shadows and blazing red eyes, its presence sucking warmth from Liam's very soul. His own eyes flickered white. Frozen, caught in the creature's terrible grip, Liam felt himself slipping away into darkness. Yet when dawn's first light filtered through the trees, the grip faltered just enough for Liam to stumble back, breathless, wild-eyed, and forever changed. When Maya found him hours later, panic surged through her veins. Liam was hollow, eyes distant, as if part of him remained trapped in the forest's cold embrace. For days, Liam kept silent until fragments of the night emerged. The chant, the glowing eyes, the shadow that consumed their parents. Maya's heart broke as she faced the terrifying truth. She tried to dismiss it, comforting him in the fragile hope of trauma and dreams, whispering, "You were just playing outside, Liam. It's okay." But the shadow grew stronger. Liam grew withdrawn by day and restless by night, haunted by nightmares and mutterings and voices that were not his own. He woke at night drenched in sweat, eyes wide, murmuring warnings Maya couldn't understand. Then came the night when the darkness crossed the line. At 3 a.m., Maya awoke to strange noises, footsteps pacing, low whispers echoing down the hallway. She crept toward Liam's room, heart hammering. Inside, she saw him tying a rope to the ceiling beam, his hands shaking, but his expression blank, as though controlled by an unseen force. Behind him, a shadowy figure lurked, its eyes burning red with malice, fixed on Maya with hatred. Fear paralyzed her for a moment, then she grabbed a cross from her bedside, voice trembling but fierce, as she shouted, "Leave him, in the name of God, leave this place." She recited prayers, each word slicing through the chilling air. The shadow recoiled with a hiss and vanished, sucked into an ancient dusty mirror that had come with the house. Its glass cracked and ominous. Liam collapsed, suddenly awake but confused, terror etched in his eyes. The priest returned, grave and solemn after hearing their story. He revealed the horrible truth. The mirror was a prison, a vessel for the demon that had driven their parents to hang themselves at 3 a.m. The same hour, the shadow's power peaked. The priest believed the evil was banished, but it had only been dormant. Together with the priest, Maya carefully removed the ancient mirror from its place, wrapping it in thick cloth to contain the malevolent force trapped within its cracked glass. The weight of the curse seemed to lift, if only slightly, as the heavy frame was carried out of the house and sealed away in a forgotten cellar. A fragile hope blossomed in Maya's heart. Maybe this was the end of their torment. That night, an unusual stillness settled over the house. The oppressive cold lifted, replaced by an eerie calm that felt almost like peace. For the first time in weeks, Maya and Liam slept without the shadows crowding their dreams. The silence was so complete it seemed to pulse, as if the house itself was holding its breath, waiting. But at exactly 3 a.m., when the world was darkest and the veil between worlds thinnest, Liam's bedroom door creaked open. Silently, without a sound, he slipped from his bed, his movements unnatural, like a marionette guided by unseen strings. His eyes, once filled with fear, now shone with a hollow, distant light. Possessed once more by the lingering darkness, Liam moved through the shadows with a single, terrible purpose. Clutched tightly in his hands was the mirror, as if drawn by a force stronger than his own will. Step by step, he brought the cursed relic back into the house, into the heart of the nightmare they had thought vanquished. The darkness had not been banished. It had only waited, patient and hungry. And now, with Liam as its unwilling vessel, it was ready to reclaim everything. Weeks later, neighbors grew uneasy. When they checked, the house was silent and empty, except for Maya and Liam, found hanging side by side, the air thick with cold dread and questions unanswered. The house was abandoned. The mirror remained, waiting patiently, hungry for its next victims. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to like and subscribe. And in the comments, tell us which ghost will be visiting your dreams tonight. See you in the next episode if you dare.